Now you're live.
Oh my God.
Sid Ryder is here.
Guys, I'm so sorry I'm late. I had to handle extremely important problems.
They're trying still. Tony, yeah. Nick Bruni. What's going on?
So it's Sunday night. Yay. It's late, right? What time is it?
I don't know.
This is like much later than we usually get started. Oh my God. We're an hour and 20 minutes late.
We're late.
But we're here.
We're here.
We're here.
Oh my goodness.
So that means we're going to be on late.
Probably.
Yeah, that's okay. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Bill McKiska.
Bill McKiska?
John M.
It's not McKiska, it's McKiska.
McKiska, sorry.
Right, I think?
I don't know.
You're always wrong.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. I know.
Yep. What the heck, Tony Rowell says.
Yeah, I was handling very important things.
Ford LTD. John Sabo. Stray Built. Stevie B. Fubar.
Fubar.
Bruce Reed. Abel D. Nick Bruni. Paul Cabazola. Mountains Garage. Iron Man. Let's see.
I bet you everybody
Dean
went over to
Stevenson.
Dead Dodge Garages live.
Probably. Nick
Yep.
M. Uncle Moose. So, what's going on, Tony?
You know, not a whole bunch.
No?
Just living the dream.
You didn't turn on the lantern.
I didn't turn it on. See, that's why the energy is off.
Is that why?
Mhm.
Oh,
That's
my
the problem.
goodness.
Got to have the Sunday night lamp going.
Is there oil in it?
You know, I don't know. There's got to be
Wayne
some oil
Buzzle
in
says,
here.
I hung in, Tony. Sorry we're late, guys. Thanks for
Oh my
hanging
God,
out.
there's no oil in it.
It's right there.
Hey, you guys, hang on now, because I have to oil the lamp.
Did you get the Jeep to run?
I haven't touched it.
Yes, you did. Did you?
I dropped the piston in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's as far as
Right.
it went. I've been doing other things, like filling lamps.
Exciting.
Yeah.
That's actually lasting a really long time. I'm going to recommend that lamp and that oil to all of our viewers. What kind of
Well, you
lamp
should
is
get
that?
an Amazon affiliate link.
I know. We don't do that. We don't make money off of other
Oh, we can make millions off of this.
Yeah?
Yeah, put a link to this lantern.
No, I don't have a link for
We'll
that.
include it in every video. Oops.
We're not an Amazon affiliate, so they won't pay us for it.
Maybe we can get to do a paid promotion for them. That would be cool.
You don't do paid promotions.
For the right price. I could be bought.
Oh, no, you can't.
I really can't.
Star7787 says, hello, Tony. How are you and your family? Why were you late getting on here? Just wondering.
Things
Going on.
things going on I had to deal with.
It's okay. It's all good. Let's see. Late night with UTG. This ain't no family channel. It is a family channel.
Yeah, I think we'll just stay on tonight. I think we're gonna do a marathon. We're gonna stay on until the sun comes up.
No, we're not.
What do you mean we're not?
No, we're not.
We have to. We're late.
We don't have to.
We have to
do
pay a
it.
penance for being late.
No, we don't.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay, is that better?
that's too high. It's gonna get crazy hot. Okay.
That's better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
It's gonna get crazy hot anyway.
That's nice.
The pup is getting big. She is. She's getting
Yeah,
really
she's
big.
getting huge. She's 13 weeks now.
Oh, we forgot the microphones, Tony.
We forgot the what?
Microphones?
Oh, yeah, we don't need the microphone.
No, we're not doing a marathon, Dakota.
Yes, we are. We're gonna be on all night.
No, we're not.
Yes, this is the
Well, you
official.
can be on all night all by yourself.
You would abandon me? You would leave me back here?
Yeah, probably.
I know.
Probably right.
And I would expect you to.
Star says, I love your channel, Tony, and wife. He loves me. Thank you. Kimmy Head, Kathy, no, we're not. Yeah. It's okay being late. I was late getting here, Tavo says. Mountains Garage said it sounds fine. All right, that's good.
Oh, look, I got a notification that we're on.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I'm gonna play.
No, don't.
I did it. I hit it. And now I'm watching myself
Don't watch yourself.
mess with the phone. And wait, I have to go back and like this.
Bonus about dead. I'm sorry, Dakota.
Okay, I liked it. Boom. Yeah.
You liked your own video.
I like my own video. Okay.
High fructose corn syrup gets me in the feels, Ken Kendall says. That's
We
not high fructose.
we've
That's
pretty much
sugar.
eliminated high fructose corn syrup.
That's
know
real
it's,
sugar. That's Mexican
it's
Coke.
funny you said that. Who said that?
Ken Kendall?
Because I was coming home from the shop. I had to meet somebody over at the shop. We sold a standing desk, and I was coming home from the shop, and I was thinking about high fructose corn syrup. I know it sounds crazy, okay? Like the thought started with corn. I was thinking about corn. First, I was thinking
You
about
think
ethanol.
about corn?
Well, I was thinking about ethanol, and then ethanol then made me think of corn, and then I thought of I was thinking about high fructose corn syrup, and it's an odd coincidence that somebody. This was like
Interesting.
just but I drink Mexican Cokes
Fascinating
because
to
they're
me.
made actually with cane sugar
Uh-huh.
and not high fructose corn syrup.
Well, that's good.
Because you have to buy stuff that doesn't originate in this country if you don't want
To
toxic.
die.
You know,
I think we're gonna get toxic anyway.
if you don't want stuff that's going to kill you, you have to go outside of the country.
Two Hacks says, Tony
Jeff,
and
what's
Kathy,
happening, man?
What's up? What's up, Two Hacks?
I was watching. I was trying to watch your video, the videos you sent me of the car. Because it drops abruptly. It's odd.
Fill everybody else in.
Okay. So Jeff ran his car this last weekend. First time out. First runs on the car was a 769 at 91 miles an hour, which that's not to sneeze at for an untuned combination, you know. So, but he sent me some videos. We were texting back and forth, and he sent me some videos of the car and the way it leaves and everything. And I just noticed I was watching it just a little while ago, right before we went on, and the car really it's a very abrupt. You know, it's a leave and it's just an abrupt thing. But I didn't really get a chance to like really look at it.
Hey,
But
Tony.
he's done fantastic with that
I
thing.
think she's tired. She might want to go in her pen.
She's fine. Let her
Yeah.
sleep there.
Well, the bugs. She's sleeping in bugs.
She's fine. She's a dog, for Christ's sakes. That's what they do. She's happy.
Let's see. Mexican Coke is actually made with high fructose corn syrup. Now look into it.
Are you serious?
No, it's got sugar in it.
Hang on. Got my glasses. If it is, I'm going to be pissed. Because when I first started drinking this stuff, it was definitely... let's see. It says, Invase Exclusivo para Refresco.
Oh my goodness.
Hencho en Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
No returnable.
That's the ingredients, Tony.
Fresco. I'm looking.
That's the white label. The
Oh,
white.
it's 355 mul.
Sorry to all of our Spanish-speaking friends. We apologize.
Okay. Carbonated water, cane sugar, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural flavors, caffeine. That's it. So there you go. Carbonated water, cane sugar. None of that high fructose corn syrup.
Our website's not working to order a shirt? What? What? I can't.
It's Refresco.
Can you do this while I go check the website, Tony?
I can't check
I
the
have
website.
no idea why it's not working.
The website?
Yeah, he says it's not working.
I didn't know we still had one, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
we do.
Okay. What's on it? Oh, our merch.
Our merch.
Our merch. Yeah. Oh, it's important.
Yeah, it's not working, he says.
We need that.
Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't be working.
Oh, look at her.
She's sleeping. She's tired.
Show our friends.
Show everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
Winnie's asleep. Okay.
Oh no, she's not asleep now.
Oh.
Winnie!
Is that your t-shirt on the lawn? Why is your t-shirt on the lawn?
Because Winnie brought it down.
Winnie, are you bringing out the laundry? It's okay. We love you.
She's beautiful. That's right. I have 400 of the same shirts.
The house is a zoo. That's all I'm going to say. Fubar, can you see if our website works before you put the link to it? Oh, they're saying the site works. Okay, thank
Okay.
goodness. Because I was just about to, like, have a meltdown.
She's been through a lot, this poor thing.
I was going to have a meltdown. It's okay. It works. Okay, thank you, Fubar. Thank you, everybody. Oh, let's see. Chris Bold, what do you think of demolition derbies?
Yeah, I always felt bad for the cars, and it doesn't really matter what it is. Um, Regular demolition derbies, I got to tell you, I'm not a fan, and I don't really have anything against them, uh, unless they're tearing up classics, because that's a whole different story. Because still people will show up at a '60s or a '70s, car, and I know I hate that. I do enjoy the more creative demolition derbies, like the figure eight races, the trailer races, the the ones where they're dragging boats around, and yeah, that sort of stuff I like.
S Nerd says we love you, Uncle Kathy. That's very nice.
Oh,
Isn't that nice? Thank
oh.
you. That's so sweet.
You could smell the love from here.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Stray Bullet says, don't spread untrue rumors about Mexican Coke.
My fine dude, I read specifically right from the label. It's cane sugar. It's cane sugar.
Mm-hmm. It's funny.
You can drink this Mexican Coke and not feel like you were attacked a half hour later.
Dakota says, website works. I just accidentally ordered 113 t-shirts.
That wasn't an accident, man. That was
That's
the right
good.
thing.
That's
You
exactly
did,
what we
you
need.
did the right thing.
I thought it was the mosquito candle. What? Let's see. Can you use Coke as a metal prep?
People used to use Coke and aluminum foil to clean chrome, like if you had like rust on the bumpers. Actually, you know what? We should try it on the Charger, because the Charger's got those stains on the bumpers.
Yeah, the bumpers are nice.
We should try the Coke and aluminum foil and see if it cleans it up.
Or we could just take the bumpers off.
I'll do that tomorrow. That's like the easiest content ever. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Look at what Uncle Tony's been reduced to. Tinfoil and Coca-Cola.
Well, I showed them my tinfoil hat. Now I gotta
Did
show
you?
them. Yeah, the video we did yesterday.
Oh, you weren't actually wearing a tinfoil hat.
No, but I did do a video. Remember I did a video once with the tinfoil hat?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was like when we first started. It was like the first year we were doing this stuff.
Let's see.
Oh no, I did it during the Rona.
Yeah, that's when you did it.
I did it during the Rona. Yeah.
I can't believe we're still on the air. Let's see, Tony, when's Slag Hammer going to the track?
It was gonna go yesterday, and I just didn't have. She couldn't go. I didn't have anybody to come and film. We didn't have a dog sitter, and I just flat ran out of time. I was gonna take the GoPro, all that, and I just next week we'll go next Saturday.
Well, our dog sitter is occupied. That's the
We
problem.
don't have a dog sitter for next Saturday either.
No, I don't think so.
I will find somebody. Maybe Dr. Art will come with me, or I'll ask the kid Connor if he can come. We'll try to go next Saturday.
Let's see, molasses is the great rust remover.
Yeah, it has to soak in molasses. But the thing with the Coke and the aluminum foil is you just rub it on. It comes right off. At least that's what I remember from, 100 years ago when
Vinegar
people were
won't
doing
work?
that. What's that?
Vinegar won't work?
I don't think the same way. We could try different.
Vinegar works
we could
really
try.
well for me
Let's
and
try
everything.
different home remedies of rust removal on a bumper.
Look at what Uncle Tony's been reduced to. Cleaning a bumper.
Do I not deserve a break?
You do. Hemihead68 sent you super chat. Thanks for the great videos.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's really nice. We really appreciate that.
I need a mental break.
Mental break. Now's not the time to take a mental break.
I'm so burned out.
Oh, wait. We're just getting started.
5 years. Okay, so September now. Oh my God, do you realize? So this is September 2013. 2023. It's a year. It's September of a year, right? And I know that it was 5 years ago this month. Probably
So we
like
put the first video up.
that we put our first video up.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that
Oh yeah, we missed our anniversary. It was like September 13th, I think. We
whatever.
forgot.
I don't know. I'm not big on dates, right? So that means that 5 years. We're doing this for five years, nonstop. A minimum of 3 videos a week, sometimes 7.
More, yeah. More. We did more. We have like 1,000 videos.
We
and
have
took
about
a
a,
bunch
we have
down.
about 1,000 videos up, and we've probably taken about 300 down.
We're a little tired, so if we're like jerks, that's why.
We've done at least 1 live a week
At least, yeah.
for 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's 52 a week, a year rather.
Alzheimer's is kicking in, yeah.
52 times 50 times 5 is 200. So we've done about 250. We've done a minimum of 250 and probably closer to 500 lives at this point.
250.
Every Sunday night.
Yeah.
So for 5 years, every
But you
Sunday
were
night.
doing 2 lives a week.
During the Rona nonsense, we were doing one every. We
Yeah.
were doing one a night,
Yeah.
and I did that for like.
Everybody was locked up in their house.
I felt it was my responsibility.
I know, to keep people company.
Keep you company. I mean, it was a weird time, right?
Mm.
So we did 1 live a night. We went live every night for, I guess it was like 3 months.
Nick Bruni says workaholics.
Yeah.
It's
there's not-
exhausting being a workaholic. I'm going to let you know. And to be honest, sometimes I have my nights when I get on here and I'm like, I can't even read. And I say stupid things.
So I got tossed out of school when I was 16, right? And I've gone to work. I was already working. I was already working when I got thrown out of school. And I haven't stopped since. So I'm 61. So what's the math?
I don't know, you've been working for a long time.
Okay, so
Everybody works though. It's normal.
you've been around since 1982 or 3? 1982.
1982.
Okay, so
I met
between
you.
1982 and today, how many total
It's
days off
41
have I
years.
had? What's that?
It's 41 years.
Okay, in 41 years.
You have taken a day off here and there.
How many?
Not many.
I mean, what would
We
you
never
estimate?
go on vacation. Like, we haven't been on vacation since we took the kids to Epcot when, like, Anthony was, like, 13.
Would you say maybe I've taken 100 days off?
Probably. In 41 years, yeah.
In 41 years, I've had 100 is actually
But we
probably
didn't go anywhere. Just letting everybody know. We don't go any place.
yeah, because so some of those days I took off. It was because I was like in the hospital.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
You have taken some off recently because you're like, I just can't think.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I can't think.
That's true.
My brain hurts. Let's see.
But yeah, I've had maybe 100 days off in 41 years.
You don't need a vacation. You're doing what you love.
And
only
that
goes
is the
so
absolute
far.
truth.
But that only goes so far. You still need
No.
sleep and stuff.
I'm.
And your brain needs a rest. Like, if you're constantly thinking, like, that wears you out, too. You know?
Wait, yeah, but at the same time, it's like if the universe throws you, the gift of what we have here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where we're able to do what we do, okay? Then you have to honor that by doing it constantly. Like you can't.
Well, we do.
You see what I'm saying?
We do it constantly.
Right. That's how you show gratitude. You show gratitude by throwing yourself completely into it.
Where would we go on vacation if we went on vacation? Where would we go?
I fear.
Just pretend for a minute. Just
I
pretend.
fear a vacation more than death, and she will tell you I am not. She's laughing, right?
He's not joking.
I'm not joking.
He's
I'm
horrible.
not joking. Right? Death, vacation. Which one do I fear more? I really have to look at it and ponder that because to me it's the same thing.
Oh my goodness. So, you can't even like pretend that we're going on vacation. Where would you like to see if you were a person that would go on a vacation? That's a good question.
Okay, if I was a person who wanted to go on vacation,
Right. What would you like to see?
you see, if I say it opens up a whole, it opens up a whole can of shit.
No, God, say, what is it?
No, no, because if I said what I really want to go see,
Yeah,
what I would want to go see,
right.
it's so off the wall.
The Great Wall of China?
No,
No.
no, no, but actually, that's kind of close.
Yeah. I figured you would like that.
I would like to firsthand examine some of the melted stone structures that I've seen video and pictures of
Yeah. Okay. Where are they?
all over the world.
All over? Are there any close to us?
No, if there
No.
was, I would probably find a way to go out of my way to get there.
So there's none near us.
None that I know of,
Okay.
but they are all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I've become in the last, like, I don't know, I guess.
Here we go.
See?
Killer
See?
for Peace says.
What was that?
Killer for Peace says, here we go. Melted stone structures, you say?
Yes.
No, they're all good question marks with like wondering emojis.
Well, you know what? If you ask me a question, look, I'm, I'm,
What's
I'm,
Tony
I'm like the
talking
most
about?
honest person. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an answer, okay?
You can't just, you couldn't have said like Morocco
No, I could care less about Morocco.
or like Rome,
Fuck Rome. I have no,
Belgium.
yeah, no.
I did a report on Belgium once. It's a very nice place.
I've heard of it, and to me, that's enough. You know? I've heard of it. That's all I need. You asked me a question,
Okay, yeah, I did.
and I hesitated answering, and then they were like, go
Is
for it,
that
right?
the only place that you can think of?
Yes, I would like to firsthand examine some of these melted stone structures.
Okay, but what about a normal? What normal place would you like to see
Nashville.
besides Nashville? Like, okay, if you were a person going on vacation, like normal people do, right? And you don't want to see anything weird. What would that be? What place would that be?
Where would anything I want to see is weird. I like weird. There's nothing that's like, quote, normal that I really want to see. I've seen everything I wanted to see.
Oh my goodness. All right.
So I'd like to see
Do you
abnormal
want to
things.
see where like Winnie came from, like Scotland? There's some beautiful buildings and architecture there that you might want to look at.
Winnie came from McMinnville.
Her roots are in Scotland. Oh my goodness. Tony the tourist, yeah.
I really have
Charles
no.
S. I hate everything.
I hate everything. I have no desire. I honestly don't have no desire to go
Oh
anyplace.
my goodness.
Well, okay, so to clarify, right? So,
Yeah.
So for the last several months now, right?
Wait,
I've-
Brett McIntyre says, sorry, Kat, your traveling is over. My traveling never started. And the crazy thing, when I was young, I didn't want to own any like possessions. I just wanted to travel.
You wanted to be
all over the
nomadic,
place.
right?
I wanted to be a nomad.
Well, I burned myself out. I burned myself out in traveling in my 20s and my 30s. I zigzagged all over the freaking continent, but it was like just the interstates. Like all I knew of the country was interstates and drag strips, and then back to home, and then get on another interstate and go to another drag strip, and then go back to home. So I covered like an ungodly amount of miles
Oh my goodness.
during that period of time, and I burned out. It's like, it's a drudgery to me to just go to the store.
I don't like anything.
I'm like, I can't bear another trip,
I hope you guys are finding this entertaining.
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
You get things out of your system. When I was younger, yeah, I wanted to see everything, and then I realized, well, everything is just interstates and drag strips.
Come visit San Francisco. Juice says.
Well, okay, so you see, San Francisco is actually a pretty interesting. Okay, so over the last several months, I've started looking at alternative history.
Can we talk about cars?
You ask me questions. I try to clarify now. Over the last several months, I've been researching alternative history. Um, Certain things that aren't explainable in the standard timeline, and most of those things occurred in the 1800s, from between 1850 and like 1930 or so. Okay, so there's a lot of anomalous structures and areas and things that fit into that time frame, mostly having to do with the World's Fairs. They had like four of them in Paris. There was one in Chicago, the one in St. Louis, the one in San Francisco. There were a lot of these World's Fairs that had really, like the official story of the World's Fair, the hows and the whys don't match up with what was actually done.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Basil sent you super chat.
Thank you.
Uncle Tony,
Yes.
what's your opinion on parts from companies like MSG, Pro M, or Jegs? It seems to get Ford parts, either no-name Chinesium or take a chance with products from companies like these.
Well, the thing about a lot of those products is that they may be assembled here in this country, but a lot of them are made up of components that are Chinesium. And you know what? I tell you what, I hate to say it, I hate to always just lump Chinese stuff as being garbage, because it's not all garbage. Some Chinese stuff is actually very high quality. It's just that what they sell to us is the lowest bidder. You know what I'm saying? It's like the lowest bidder gets the job. So a company, whatever, says, I want 10,000 widgets, and they bid to these Chinese companies, and the one that throws the lowest bid is the one that gets the job, and that's why we get shit. So to just blanket statement, Chinese stuff is junk, that's not true at all. The Chinese have some extremely high quality stuff. It's just what we get here is shit, right? Or what our what's ordered from our companies is shit. So I hate to just blanket state. I hate to insult the Chinese people by saying, oh, they make shit, because they don't. They make good stuff. And they're very industrious, very hardworking. I've had a lot of Chinese friends, people, Chinese nationals over the years, where they've come here and whatnot. It was.
I have a question.
Yes.
Pico says Tony needs to build a big old wagon and drive across the country with Ultra Kathy and the dogs.
No.
What do you mean no?
No, I don't
What
want to
about
do that.
that big, what was that I said that we should get? What was that called?
Oh, the Travco.
The Travco.
That's
we found
pretty
a
cool.
Travco that
Yeah.
was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
But he won't get it from me.
It's a 65. They want $4,500 for it, which is
65.
reasonable.
It's been in storage, so it's not too
It's
bad.
been in storage for 40 years.
Yeah.
It's got a polyhead 318 in it. The guy put new tires on it.
Mm-hmm.
The interior is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the soft stuff is gone, right?
But everything else is all there.
Yeah, like all
in good
like
condition.
the kitchen appliances are perfect, right? Like the cabinets and the stove and everything is pristine. It's beautiful. And he wants $4,500 for it, which is a good deal. I mean, regardless of what's wrong with the motor, I get the motor going. But I'm just thinking, by the time I'm done going through rotted brake lines and fuel lines and tanks and all of this other shit, it's just too much. If I didn't have all of these other things going on, or if it wasn't like doing YouTube and I got to stay on a focus that brings in views, then I would do it. But it's not in the cards right now.
Why? Maybe people want to watch on Travel Channel.
I'm not doing a Travel Channel.
Uncle Tony's Travel Channel.
I'm not-
in
I'm
his
not-
Travco.
I'm not doing a Travel Channel.
Sure, we could. What?
What?
What? Why not? Oh, van life with Tony. See? It could be big.
No, I don't want to live in a van.
It's not a van, it's a Travco.
I don't want to live in a Travco.
It's really big. It's super big. There's room for all the dogs.
Van life is just like this close to homeless.
Well, no, I'm not saying van life, but like we could travel and go places. That would be cool.
Yeah, no.
He's like, no. UTG in Rome. This place sucks.
it doesn't do anything for me. Like the idea of it doesn't do anything for me. And I'm sure it's beautiful. And I'm
I
not
always wanted to
knocking
go to
these
Europe.
places.
Like, you don't like the architecture?
I have found everybody's different. Okay, everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
But I have found for me, like I'll go to see something, whatever it happens to be. It's like, oh, go see, the Statue of Liberty, and I, you go there, and you look at it, and it's like, okay, what's next? You know what I mean? It's like I'm not. It doesn't really do anything for me. There's nothing there to for my brain to latch onto.
Anthony Prentice sent you super chat.
Thank you.
I love reading about the World's Fairs. I wish they taught us more about them in school.
Okay, but what part about the World's Fairs?
Hemi Head sent you super chat.
Thank you.
Tony, you ever listen to Click and Clack, the Tappet Brothers?
Oh, years and years ago, they were on the radio. I remember them. I don't know if they're still around, but yeah, probably 30 years ago, 35 years ago, they were on the radio in New York, and occasionally, yeah, I'd have that on.
T-shirt, when in Rome, Tony don't care. With Sandra Tupi.
Yeah, I have no desire. I have no desire.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Good evening. I'm 17 and just bought a 1982 Chrysler New Yorker 318.
Congratulations.
Do you have any general experience with these cars? Also, do you have any recommendations on removing the lean burn system?
Yes.
It's Lucas.
Those cars are really good. Like, it's a solid car. You'll get a lot out of it. The lean burn is easily removed. All you need to do is first take the box off of there, right, off the air cleaner. Change the air cleaner. Get a non-lean burn distributor. So just get any electronic ignition distributor that has a vacuum advance and centrifugal advance. Like literally, any electronic distributor that didn't come with a lean burn, and plug it in. Right? It's like literally that simple. You don't have to really do anything with the carburetor, because the carburetor is on those things. The carburetor isn't regulated for the lean burn. The lean burn gets information from the carburetor, so there's no need to change the carburetor. It's all in a distributor.
Let's see. Andrew Button, I am old. I have an e-body. I just blew up a 360. Do you have any suggestions? Laugh out loud.
For blowing up a 360?
He blew it up, yeah. Do you have any suggestions?
Fix it.
Fix it. Okay, that's good. This is why people come here.
This is why.
This is the type of information they need.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm so sorry, everybody. Next UTG shirt. I hate cars and traveling. Any questions? It was a big deal for you to go to Kentucky, right? That was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
What could have melted stone?
That's a damn good question, right?
UAW strike? Question marks?
Yes. Actually,
happening.
you know what? I was thinking about tomorrow. Well, all right. I'm not gonna talk about it now. I got to see how I feel when I wake up in the morning, because I have an idea for a follow-up video to the last one that I did, and I may or may not do it in the morning. I got to see when I wake up in the morning. It has to be. It's gonna like my mood is either gonna be go get that freaking Jeep together and get it running, or go shoot a video. I got to see how I feel when I wake up in the morning.
What did you see in Kentucky? Oh, the Mo Party.
Oh, we went to the
You
Mo Party. Yeah.
If somebody asked, you never named...
I had to overcome my fear of crowds. It wasn't that going to Kentucky was a big deal. We go to Kentucky all the time.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Well, how many times have we been to Bowling Green?
A couple.
A couple.
Yeah, not
all of the
time.
hot rod reunions and all of the stuff that we're working with the Drum Ghoul with the Denon guys and all the other shit.
Okay. Sure. All the time.
Recently, no, we haven't.
Recently, no.
Right, no.
Okay, let's see. Oh, somebody was asking before when you were going to reveal that car, your secret
I meant to do it yesterday.
vehicle. You meant to do it yesterday and you didn't.
Okay, so when I shoot those videos off the GoPro, Like this is where you get into the like here. Okay, so here's like the nuts and bolts.
There was a complaint about you moving the camera.
I know, but so the nuts and bolts of doing this job, right? So when I shoot a video off the GoPro, I have to be it has a timer, right? That you're looking at, right? So you're looking at yourself on the thing, and there's a timer, and it's like right in your forehead, okay? So as I'm doing a video, I'm watching the timer, and I either have to speed up or slow down depending on where that timer is, because the YouTube videos shouldn't go more than between 17 and 20 minutes. So if I haven't completed thoughts in that 20-minute time, at that point I start rushing. And if there's a pause, like if I'm talking and it's like I lose my, and she edits most of that out, but if I lose my place, it's because I'm looking at the clock and the timer and trying to figure out how I don't go over, like the 23-minute mark is about maximum for our videos, because at that point the watch time plummets. So so if you what you do is you look at it, it's like a graph, okay? It's like 8 minutes, good, right? And then you get to like 13, 14 minutes, good, okay? And then you get to about 17 minutes or so, and it peaks and it stays like that, 20 minutes, and it starts to taper off, and then you get to about 24 or 25 minutes, and then it really starts to plummet. So I'm always watching the clock when we make those videos, and that's always in my mind as I'm talking, and I realized I had gone to like 24 minutes or so, and I wanted to talk about that vehicle, and I said, got to cut this short. And I think I even said in the video, I think I even said, we're going off like 25 minutes now. So, next one.
Tony, do you have in your town cruise night here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada? We have it. He sent you a super chat.
Thank you. Yes, we used to have it. It used to be a big thing here.
Last night, I think it was the last one. That was Joey in Canada.
Where did they have it? Thank you.
By the church over there.
Okay.
The same one, River Rock.
Yeah, but now it's a small little thing.
Is it?
When we first moved here, they used to do big cruise nights.
Mm-hmm.
When we were doing a Belk.
Yeah, I remember.
And they get like 400 cars. Yeah, it was really healthy. And then it dwindled down to it's just like they do it like in one of the local church parking lots over here, and it's just like 30 cars. It's not it's not what it was.
Rating Slant 6 with a chance of cannibals. Would Tony like to check out the Auto and Motorcycle Museum that is by Speedway Motors?
Speedway Motors.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know where that is. I should know where that is. I think I know where that is. Where is Speedway Motors?
I don't know.
Okay, so next time I'm in North Carolina, or I head to North Carolina, I'm definitely going to stop at Wheels Through Time. That's it's a motorcycle place, and I've wanted to see it for years. Every time I've passed there, I've been like in a hurry, so I haven't stopped. But I'm going to make it a point to stop there and check that out. Wheels Through Time. What else do I want to see?
Nebraska. It's in Nebraska. I don't see us going to Nebraska anytime soon. Sorry.
Probably not.
Probably not. Let's see. Hang on, guys. Maggie Valley.
Yeah, it's in the Maggie Valley.
Okay. They're talking to each other. Hang on. Talking to each other. Okay, so let's see. Scarlet Fire says, well, Tony, I just read in the movie Bullet they added a smoke machine in the Mustang. Add to the smoking tire scenes. So lame.
I've seen that chase. Maggie. She heard Maggie Valley, I guess.
Now
Hey!
Turn the lights on over there. The dog is out. Your dog is out.
So, what were we just talking about?
I don't remember. It's my house,
Hey, Maggie. Stop. Go in the house. Go get a cookie.
Maggie. Come on.
Go get a cookie.
Come on.
Mommy, give me a cookie. Bread. Go get bread. There you go. Okay. Well, hurry back now. Oh, wait. I can look on my phone and see what you guys are saying. Live chat. There we go. Okay, I knew I did this for a reason. Um, let's see. Now your dog is acting up, Chris. Um, let's see. Yeah, Wheels Through Time is awesome. Uh, Matt Walsker took his time to pleasantly talk to me, and everyone there is nice. I spent the whole day. Yeah, I could tell. Like, that place has got to be amazing. Um, okay,
I'm back.
all right. Check out the Lean Motor Museum in Nashville. Yeah, I just asked somebody about that, like recently, like within the last few days. I don't remember who it was, and they were like, "It's so-so."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony, are you not a fan of OHC engines or just that Ford 4.0 V6?
Overhead cam engines have their place. Um, it's not that I'm not a fan of them, but unless you're going for a specific improvement, and in the case for overhead cams, the idea is RPM. You want to make power at a higher RPM level, or you're going with cam timing. Like a VTEC. Then it makes sense. But for that engine, that's just a regular pedestrian engine that's never going to see the sweet side of like 5,500 RPM or 6,000 RPM. It's pointless. There were no flaws with the pushrod motor that they were fixing. So you could say, well, they were going for a more efficient setup. But no, you're not going for more efficient setup because the parasitic losses of having to turn 3 cams because there's still a jack shaft with the metal, so it's like a dummy cam. So you turn in 3 cams and all of these extra timing chains, whatever gains you might have picked up, possibly by going for that an overhead cam setup, you gave up with parasitic losses. So what was the point?
Cancel his race for a cure since you super chat.
Thank you.
Going low budget drag racing. U.S. Nationals changed me. Building a Camaro. Could match racing ever make a comeback? Nitro is the goal eventually.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Match racing. Okay, so what we did back in the day was match racing. Um, the difference. Okay, so here's the thing. If you go back to the 80s and the 90s when I was involved in this stuff, you got paid, right? So in other words, like a track would book you in. They'd book in 2 cars, 4 cars, 8 cars, whatever it was, and you were there for a guarantee, right? It didn't matter whether you won, lost, or anything, as long as you completed a burnout, staged the car, and made a representative pass. So if it's a fuel funny car, you go, and this is back in the day, obviously the times are much different now, but you got a fuel funny car. If you run 6.0 or better, they pay you whatever the guarantee money is. So let's just say Chuck's going to book in a funny car show, and they're going to pay local cars $3,000 or $4,000 to come in and make 2 runs. They'll pay a traveling car $8,000, $10,000. They'll pay a big name $15,000, $20,000. Like Force was getting that kind of money back when we were doing this stuff. So the thing about match racing back then was that there was a guaranteed payday. If you took the time to prep the car and put it on a trailer and travel to where you're going and did everything you needed to do to make your runs, you knew you were going to get paid. And it was always more than what you were going to burn up. So if it cost us, so when we with the Top Fueler, it was costing about $1,000 a run. So that's fuel, oil, clutch amortization, spark plugs, the stuff that wears, okay? It would all add up to about $1,000 a run. You're going to go to Englishtown and you're going to make 2 runs and you're going to get $3,000. So it costs us $2,000 to make 1,000. It made sense. It was a good business, and it kept a lot of guys going. It kept a lot of cars going. That structure doesn't really exist anymore. The only people that get any type of appearance money are like the TV guys, like the ones that are on the Discovery Channel, like No Prep Kings, and those guys can command money, but there are no more like independent shows, or very few independent shows that pay like that anymore. It's like a business structure of drag racing that doesn't exist anymore. Uh-oh, what's the matter?
Weird.
What's weird?
Okay, so I got the super chat from Junkin Rides Garage,
Okay.
but it's covered. It says celebrate the first super chat from Junkin Rides Garage.
Well, thank you.
Well, but I can't read his message because his message is covered by it. And it's like, well, how do you want me to celebrate it? I can't click on anything. And I can't read his message.
Well, I'll look on my phone and I'll see if I can read his
Well,
message.
you do that because I can't see it on my phone or on the computer. We're trying. Hang on, Junkin Rides Garage. I know it says going low budget drag racing, but that's all I can see. I can't see anything after that.
Dude, just go out there and have fun. Don't try to make money with it. It doesn't. We were able to make money with it. Oh, it's just this Junkin Ride Garage. He sent the super chat. Thank you.
But it doesn't.
It does. There's no. It's just a thing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, thank you. It looked like he wrote something, but it was covered.
No, it's just a banner.
That is the message?
Yes.
I don't know.
No,
Okay.
no. Trust me. Trust me. Move past it. It just shows up weird on your thing for some reason. No, it was a good business, and like in the East Coast, the Northeast, where we were running out of, there were probably, like when I got started in the later 1980s, when I started bouncing from car to car, there were at least 20 cars that were on the circuit, more or less. You know, they would hit a few national events every now and then, but the guaranteed money from match racing kept a lot of cars going. Doesn't exist anymore. Don't try to make money with it. Don't try to make money with it. The time and the place for that has passed. That doesn't mean you can't go out and have fun with a car. It doesn't mean you can't be competitive. It doesn't mean you can't put on a good show. It doesn't mean you can't sell T-shirts. But the idea of trying to match race like that capacity, doesn't exist anymore.
Dr. Art says, hello, Tony and Kathy. We just got back from the Biltmore estate. See, they go on vacation.
See? You should go hang out with them.
No. Did you have fun? Was it nice? I'm sure it was really nice. Tony, how long have the stones been melted?
You think I'm making this stuff up? I'm not making it up. It's not stones. It's actual structures. Like, I know.
Because you know why.
I know it sounds crazy.
But you don't know when to stop. You start talking about it and then we'll be here like for an hour.
I know it sounds crazy, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I want to see this stuff with my own eyes instead of just pictures and videos.
Hello, Vince from New Jersey.
This is why I want to see the stuff with my own eyes, because there are dozens, if not hundreds, of structures,
Come in.
stone, structures that were castles or very big buildings, thousands of years old, hundreds of thousands of years old, that appear to be partially melted. Bricks, giant blocks, right? You've seen like the way they build castles, the giant blocks and all that stuff. Well, if you spend a little time digging around, you'll see that there are many structures that appear to be partially melted. So it's like half the structure looks kind of normal, and then it'll lean over this way, and then the other side of it is just melted. And I'm not making this stuff up. Google it. Look up these images yourself. So I have no idea what caused it. I have no idea when it happened. I have no clue. But I find it very fascinating. There's a lot of historic anomalies that I'm interested in.
Oh, there you go. I'm back. Alien Wars melted the stones. There you go. Okay.
Hey.
There. That's what it is, everybody.
Yeah, it's melted structures. It's melted structures. I've seen like hundreds of pictures of these things now, and some of them are obviously okay. It's a rock formation that kind of happens to resemble a building. Yeah, I won't. I don't count that. When it's clearly a building, and let's just say a castle, okay? Because that seems to be a common theme through these things. So when it's a castle and it appears to be half intact and half like melty, you know, there's something to that. There's something to that. When you've got let's say
I'd like to see a video of Tony examining a melted stone structure.
there's one in where was that? Where was that one? Remember I was looking at that video. It's someplace.
I try not to pay attention.
Okay, this is someplace in the
Where is it, Tony?
someplace in the west. It's like might be Colorado, Utah, might be one of those states. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it was,
Okay.
but it looks, for all intents and purposes, it looks like just the side of a hill. Okay, but when you get closer to it, in the side of the hill, you actually see the outline of blocks, and then when you get to the bottom of the hill, there is like a well-defined curb, like a concrete curb, and it disappears, and with a railing, like
Are
a
you
railing
gonna
base.
go look at that one?
I would like to see that.
Oh, we're gonna go for a trip.
If we happen to be in that general area,
Where is it?
I don't know. I'll go back
Just
and I'll watch the
take it
video
anywhere.
again. So, like I said, it looks like a just the side of a hill. But when you get closer and you look at the details, there's like a pipe sticking out of it. There are like regular red bricks that are here and there, and some of them are partially melted. And then when you look at the bottom of it, the very base of it, there's an actual curb that looks like any curb that you see like on a street, and a railing and stairs, like the first few stairs and it just disappears into melt.
Mike N sent a super chat.
Thank you.
Tony, Kat is gonna melt your stones if you don't take her on vacation. Road trip, no stopping.
Yes, it's like making a deal with the devil. Sure, I'll take you on a vacation.
No stopping. That was funny. Everyone's okay.
John Levy is the channel. So if you guys are interested in alternative history, right? Like, don't sigh.
What?
Don't sigh. Some people might be interested in this.
Yeah.
There are several channels that cover this. The one that I find to be the most entertaining, and the guy's definitely off balance. Okay, a little bit off balance. His name is
Don't
John
say
Levy.
that. That's not nice. Don't say that.
He probably smokes a little too much ganja
That might be it.
before he records. Okay, so he takes a little bit of getting used to. But he's actually a very thorough researcher, and he presents a lot of pictures, maps, drawings, illustrations, newspaper clippings, encyclopedia entries. The guy researches his stuff, right? Very thoroughly. And this is where I'm seeing the bulk of what I'm talking about right now. And he goes very, very deep into the anomalies of the World's Fairs, 1850
John
to...
who? Say it again.
John Levy, Levi, Jon.
Or Y.
What?
Is it Y or I?
I
don't know. Either one.
L Levy, Levi, Levy.
Junkin' Rod's Garage sent you a super chat.
Another one.
Another one.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We're celebrating that Junkin' Rod's Garage.
Yeah. So it's a rabbit hole, guys. If you go down this rabbit hole, it's a deep one, and it yeah, it's way over the top.
Okay. Let's see.
What's that other channel that I like?
Which one?
The guy's funny.
My lunch break?
My lunch break. That's another one. My lunch break is another good one.
Uncle Rabbit Hole.
Oh,
You have no
you show me a
idea.
rabbit hole, right, and I just dive right down into it.
Yeah, I didn't do that anymore.
I
learned
do.
my lesson.
I'm always looking for the stuff at the... Well, here's what
I
happens, right?
used to. That's why I don't do it anymore.
Here's what happens. I've gone down 500 rabbit holes, and let's say in those 500 rabbit holes, 300 of them had common threads. And when I find those common threads, I follow those common threads. You see what I'm saying? So I'm always looking. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to get a better grasp of the world and how it all works. I really don't care very much about cars. I got to tell you.
That's good to tell the audience.
I'm just
I'm
being
watching
honest.
This channel. Okay. Well, there you have it, everybody. Uncle Rabbit Hole's traveling adventures. This will be an excellent channel. Robbie Posey says, LMAO.
You want to see some amazing
Silly
stuff?
rabbits. What?
You want to see some amazing
What car is
stuff?
behind you? A Duster.
Look at the cast iron buildings from Oregon that they tore down in the 1930s. There's crazy stuff. You know, go ahead. Just
Go ahead, what?
keep going.
How can I keep going now?
Get me
Do you
off
know
this
what
topic.
the comments look like?
Get me off this topic.
Oh my goodness, Tony. Sometimes, like, after we do these, I regret.
Why?
I have regrets. Right, buffering, yeah.
The best
Cast
things.
iron, yeah.
The best things in life have some regret associated with them.
Oh my goodness, no.
There's some degree of regret
No.
to all of the best things in life.
Oh, good grief. Let's see. T-Chops88 says, got stuck on a Mount Everest rabbit hole for weeks once. I'm sorry.
What was it now?
He got stuck on a Mount Everest rabbit hole for
What-
weeks one time.
What was it?
Oh, no, yeah, you're Tony.
No, I never heard of it. What is
Down
it?
the Mount Everest rabbit hole.
Yeah, don't leave me hanging. What was it?
That's where the mole people live. What's wrong with you?
Come on.
What? Joey sent a super chat.
Thank you.
Can I hear your car if it's not too late of the one behind you?
It's got no battery in it. It's got
Oh,
no battery
yeah.
in it.
We swap batteries around.
Yeah. It just sits back here, so I don't keep a battery in it because it just, would always be dead.
Yeah, lost underground cities.
There's a lot to that.
What about the cast iron buildings? See what you've done. Do you see what you've done?
All right, so, okay. So in the 1930s,
Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let them Google. They have Google. They can look. You don't have to tell them.
okay,
It's all right. Mole holes, yeah. This is what we're talking about tonight.
listen, this is a very intricate world. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of,
Please enlighten us.
a lot of anomalous things.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Some of it is nonsense. I don't believe every. So here's the thing. I don't believe everything that comes down the pike.
Oh, thank God.
But I listen to all of it, right? I want to know the perspective of everything. I don't believe that the Earth is flat, but I've read all of as much as I cared to. I've read about flat Earth theory. It doesn't mean that I believe in it. It just means that I want to learn their perspective because there might be. I find it no matter how weird something is, there's always going to be a kernel of truth or a kernel of
Here we go.
of knowledge that you're going to find in there. So I don't hesitate. If somebody tells me there's mole people, I will look into that. I want to know, right?
You look for mole people.
Some of it is complete nonsense, but
And your melted buildings.
there's pictures, there's videos, there's pictures. Like these, this isn't like, and some of them are like well-known like tourist sites, like ancient castles in wherever, right? Scotland, let's just say, that are partially friggin' melted. And it's not that.
They should have made them out of passports.
Made it right. They would have survived anything. How did that happen?
I don't know. How did that happen?
Right. How did any of it happen?
Okay. Uh, let's see. Look at this picture of the Earth. It's flat and round. This is programming. I guess so. I don't know, Tony.
Yeah.
Good night, Hemihead.
Good night, brother. Yeah, no, for the record, I am not a flat earther, but I
Mm-hmm.
find a lot of their theories interesting. I find a lot of their
People say lots of interesting things.
I find a lot of their observations interesting. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I believe what they're saying or I go along with that, but I find it interesting.
The blue people of Kentucky.
Yes. Oh,
What?
but that's an iron thing, iron in the blood. I forgot what it was. I looked into that years ago when somebody told me, "Oh, they got blue people in Kentucky." This was,
Somebody said it just like that.
however they said
Oh,
it.
they have blue people in Kentucky.
However they said it. But it was when I first moved to Tennessee, and I remember looking into that, and it's a iron in the blood, either too much or too little or whatever it happened to be.
It's so fun.
They're not really blue. They're not like Smurfs. They just have how most like light skinned people have like a yellowish kind of, they have a bluish kind of thing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Joey sent you super chat.
Thank you.
Tony, have you watched the movie called Race from the 1990s? It's a great movie.
I've never seen it.
I think
I've
it's
never
a
seen
horror
it.
movie. We don't do horror movies.
Yeah, I'm not a horror guy.
They ate silver. Yeah, you can turn blue from silver.
Yes.
Silver. Interesting silver. In the weeds with Uncle Tony. I love it. Any car questions?
Nobody cares about cars.
Any core questions? No, because I like to hear us say stupid, nonsensical things.
These are not stupid, nonsensical things.
Well, some of it is.
No, they're called anomalies.
Blue chickens? No. Mere Gargamel? No.
What's that?
Mere Gargamel. Kathy's losing it. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. The blue people made me lose it. Anything else, Tony? So we did we go over the mole people, the blue people? What else is there? Drew says, can I work for you?
You already do.
Who works? Drew? Drew wants to work for you.
You
Let's see.
you don't want to work for me.
No, you really don't.
You don't. I don't play well with others.
Ant
I wish I
people,
did, but I don't.
Lizard people. Shell people. Can someone sing the Smurf song? No. What do you think about the Air Force UFO sightings?
What do I think about
What do you
them?
think about that?
See, there's another whole like complete rabbit hole. I mean, I believe that, or I'm fairly certain, I should say. I hate to use the word believe. I'm fairly certain that
There's 408 people watching me.
yeah, that the whole extraterrestrial thing has been an ongoing situation for as long as there's been life on this planet, and it's probably responsible for a lot of the life that's on this planet. You know,
Okay, that's enough.
yeah.
Mexican Spec says today is his son's 18th birthday and has been in medical school for 4 weeks now. I am old. Well,
Nice.
Happy birthday to
Happy
him.
birthday.
We as left people. Yeah. Bigfoot. Can we talk cars?
Sure.
Let's see. Okay. Such as the impending breaking down of the regular unmaintained group running their equipment in the ground. I just nailed the like button.
What was it now?
Can we talk cars such as the impending breaking down of the regular unmaintained group running their equipment in the ground?
I have no idea.
He doesn't know what you mean, Brett.
Yeah.
Retype. See, I saw the Starlink satellites the other night. 22 of them flying in a long line. Yeah, we saw those too over Tennessee like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I missed it. We were at Dr. Art's house, and they were all looking this way. And like, oh, look. And by the time I turned around, there was nothing there.
Oh, let's see. Tony, what is the next collectible car you wanted to mention to us?
I'm going to do a video on it.
Tony, why aren't you allowed to talk about the cast iron buildings? Monk from Philly. I didn't say he's not loud.
But you give me...
What? No,
You give me
I mean,
looks.
go on if that's what you want to do.
So in the 1930s, they tore down...
There you go, everybody.
Yeah. They tore down a big portion of the old city of Portland, right? And it consisted of rows of cast iron buildings. The buildings weren't entirely cast iron. The major structures of them were. And there was also like regular building materials mixed in too, but they refer to them as cast iron buildings. And some of them actually still exist here and there, right? It's not an unheard of thing.
Okay, cast iron buildings failed due to core shift.
Say that again now?
Cast iron buildings failed due to core shift.
Well, the ones that I'm referring to now, it's not that them being cast iron was the unusual part. They happened to be cast iron, but they could have been really anything. So in the 1930s, the city of Portland tore down this whole section of the city, big section of the city. And it was all of these...
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. And there was a photographer that was paid by the city to document all of these
Minor
buildings.
White.
What's that?
Minor White.
Minor White? Was that the guy's name?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
What do you mean, how do I know it?
How do you remember his name?
I don't remember.
Oh my God.
Where?
So this photographer went and he photographed all of these buildings, this whole region, right? This was like a several block area. So the anomalous thing about this is that Portland wasn't really settled until the 1880s, right? Okay, it didn't become like a city until around the 1880s. And these buildings were torn down in the 1930s. But now when you look at these buildings, they're clearly older than the 50 years old that they could be. So the buildings actually have the appearance of already being like 100 years old. And like some of them have been boarded up for a long period of time. These are photographs that were taken by this Minor White. And you could see that like the upper floors of some of these buildings have like wood, plywood and stuff like that covering them. And you can tell by the aging of it that stuff has been there for like a long time. But the timeline of the city doesn't match the age and of the buildings. And that's a theme, it's a reoccurring theme in this avenue of, I don't want to call it research, this avenue, this rabbit hole that I'm currently exploring. There's like thousands of examples of stuff like that. And that's what I'm looking at.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now everybody can go look it up. I feel compelled.
Listen, you guys, if you got like a curious mind, it's a rabbit hole you want to go down because there's a lot of really interesting stuff there. I'm not going with any particular theory. All I'm telling you is that there's a lot of very interesting anomalies to be found in architecture and timelines that don't make sense.
EW says, Uncle Tony, car question. I have 2 kids, 3 and 5. What cars/trucks should I be looking out for now that they may be driving in 10 years?
I mean, I would try to just find anything OBD1 and earlier. Anything that's just easily repairable. Anything that's common. Don't go for exotic. Don't go for exotic. Don't go for rare. If you're planning for something 10 years from now to pass on to your kids, or a family heirloom type of vehicle, the last thing you want is something that's rare and exotic. You want something that's common, something that there's already like an abundance of parts in people's sheds, backyards, basements, barns. That's what you want to find. That's what you want to look for.
why materials degrade in areas with harsh conditions.
What's that?
That's the question.
I have no idea. I don't know what they're talking about.
Why is it a mystery why materials degrade in areas with harsh conditions? Why is that a mystery?
Why would that be a mystery?
I don't know.
We've all heard of rust.
I don't know. Let's see. A rip in the space-time continuum. Well, there you go. That's what it was.
No.
It's not what it is.
The basic theory is that there was a very advanced civilization that occupied. Where you going? She's leaving me now. See, I start talking about this stuff, and she's like, "I'm done with you," and she's gonna go grab a pair of socks and a towel and head out to the car, and she's done for good. Oh no, she went to get a banana. I was wrong. She's not leaving me. So the theory behind this is that there was a very advanced civilization all over the world that existed until about 300 years ago, 250 to 300 years ago. And at that point, there was a reset. This is the theory. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm saying this is the theory. This is what these researchers, the evidence
Demonetized.
Who's monetized?
I said demonetized. What are you talking about?
No, these guys are monetized. I wouldn't get
Okay.
demonetized for this. So the theory is that there was basically a unified culture, society, very advanced with technology that existed around 250 years ago or so. And they went through a reset. And the people are gone. The majority of the technology is gone, but there are a lot of structures and a lot of areas and a lot of anomalous timelines, like stuff that doesn't make sense. Like if you have a city, let's just say you've got a city, a growing city, a young city, and it's got 3,000 people. Well, that city wouldn't have like 7 churches, all made out of stone with brick and elaborate everything and spires and the whole 10 yards. You wouldn't find that, but that's a reoccurring theme as you go through not just this country, but other countries as well. Like the timelines don't make sense. Now, if a city is supposed to be founded in 1830, you're not going to find a sprawling metropolis in the 1850s. But you look at the visual evidence, photographic evidence and maps and so on and so forth, well, that's what it shows. So I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm saying that this is what the theory is, and this is what I'm currently, this is that's got my interest. What?
Nothing.
She's looking at me like, you're nuts.
No, I didn't say
You're just nuts. Why do you have to show all these people how completely batshit
Oh, I
crazy
don't
you are?
care.
Can't you just keep it to yourself?
No, you can't keep it to yourself. Let's see. Like the pyramids.
Okay, so the pyramids would kind of be an example along these lines. But the pyramids are so far in ancient history that it's kind of like...
Are they? Are they?
Well, okay, we don't know that for sure.
Right.
We don't know that for sure. But it's not just the pyramids. There were all these ancient cities and ancient structures, monolithic things, right, that are all over the place. I'm not even talking about that because that's like ancient history, like 3,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 12,000 years ago. That's different than stuff that happened in the last 300 years or 400 years.
Franco
You know what I mean?
wants to know, Tony, are you trying to explain out-of-place artifacts?
Yes. But these are just more than artifacts. They're whole cities. There's a big difference between just an oh, look at this odd watch we found in this mine, right? No, it's bigger than that. And the thing about it is, it's all kind of like hidden right in plain sight. That's what's interesting. Like these star fort things. I never heard of a star fort, right? And you say, well, Star Trek, right? Star Wars, anything. No, star forts. They're a thing. They're all over the world. They're all over this country. They're all over Europe. They're all over Asia. And, well, look up star forts. And it's this reoccurring shape, a city. Cities are built in the shape of star forts. Forts are built in the shape of star forts. Towns are built in the shape of star forts. They're all over the place. Like, there's one in Nashville, which I up until like 3 months ago, I had never even heard of one of these things, but they're literally everywhere.
J. Russell Finch says
Explain 'em.
Tony is wrong.
Okay,
That's all.
what am I wrong about? I'm not
And
saying
you're
anything
just-
is right.
You're wrong. Let's see. What do you think the old civilizations would drive? I'm going with the Crown Vics.
It's possible. The logistics.
Of Crown Vics?
No, but
In
he's talking.
Tartaria?
The logistics. So you have these buildings that are massive, massive. And they're built out of block, brick, stone, okay? Granite, marble, all of these hard, heavy materials. And they show up in the middle of really nowhere, okay? And you realize that at the time that they were built, all you had was horses and wagons, like donkeys pulling stuff around. No roads, no infrastructure, no railroads. But yet, somehow or another, they were able to transport all of these materials to these areas. It doesn't really make sense, like when you start to really look at it.
Do you think aliens would be up for no prep and real street events, or would they be NHRE fans, or both?
No, alien life would definitely be no prep. You think about all of the
I don't know
situations.
about that. I think that they'd be.
Yeah, alien
up
life
the
would.
NHRE is, you know what?
And no, they don't want, no. You know what it is? Because for them to have come here and done all of the things they've done,
What have they done? What have they done?
they've traversed space,
How do you
time. They've overcome gravity. They've
Yeah.
overcome friction. They've got unique fuel
How
sources.
do you know?
Okay, so because an alien, so hypothetically, if you had.
National Geographic.
Hypothetically, if you had aliens come here and you says, "Hey, what kind of racing do you want to do?" If they got half a brain, they're going to go no prep because they know they're covered for any potential situation. You see what I'm saying? Where that gives them the advantage. It's like a prepped NHRA type of deal. No, it's like it's going to be another. It's going to be too tight. It's going to be too
This is
close.
why aliens won't talk to us.
I am why the aliens won't talk to us.
Oh my goodness. I figured aliens would drive Mercury comets.
Plymouth satellites.
Google says there are 1,734 star forts around the world.
See,
See, so many. I don't know what that means.
you'd think I'd be making this stuff up, but I'm not. Guys, there's a lot of crazy out there. Like a lot of things that just are not explainable.
You may be one of them.
I'll own that. I'll own that. No
We
problem.
love you, Tony. We love you. Let's see. UTG. When you get a chance, YouTube. Man moves 20-ton stone by himself.
I'm more than familiar with what can be accomplished with leverage, and I get that. I get that.
Joel says this is awesome. Tony is making this stuff up, J. Russell Finch says.
That guy just found 1,700 star forts. Have you ever heard of a star fort? I had never heard of a star fort, and yet they're everywhere. It's like a common shape. What was I about to say? No, I know about moving heavy objects. I know how stuff can be done. I know that using leverage in all of its forms, because I've worked by myself in some. I know all about using leverage. I get that, but it's the combination of leverage, but then precision, because you have to look at the precision that these things are built in, and it's a level that, like, we can't attain this stuff today. Look at structures that were built, supposedly built 200 years ago, 300 years ago. Europe, right? I mean, these are known places, and I'm not mysterious about them. Look at the cathedrals, and They're massive, and they're intricate, and they're built with such amazing artistry and accuracy and detail. How the hell did they do this when there's no power tools? There's no cranes. There's no, according to our timeline, there's none of these things exist, and we can't build this stuff today. You look at anything built in the last
I
100
think you
years.
could. I don't know if there would be enough craftsmen, though.
Yeah.
I think that there are many more craftsmen than we have today, for sure. That would be an issue.
It'd be a big issue. You can't find somebody to get an order of French fries right.
This is true.
It's bad.
Yeah, that's true. Tony's starting a UFO repair shop. Too funny. Let's see. Notre Dame was under construction for several centuries.
So, yeah, see, now there's another thing. Some places like Notre Dame have a known history that they were built over a period of time, right? But there are so many buildings. You look at like state capitals. So, like there's repeating things. Like there's themes to all that stuff. But when you look at like just watch a video today on the Tennessee state capitol that was supposedly built over the course of like 2 years, a year or 2 years.
Cold War Motors is here.
What's happening, brother man?
People can't read cursive today. This is true.
In like the 1850s, and it was supposedly done with slave labor and inmates. But you look at this building, you can't tell me that slaves were that skilled. You can't tell me that inmates put that much effort into what they, into building this beautiful building. And over the course of 2 years, I'm watching them build, and they're building like a retirement type of community not too far from here. It's about 5 miles, and I pass it every day going to and from the shop. And I've been watching them put this thing together, just grading things, and they got machinery. They got everything, every modern technology. And it's taking them forever. It's taking them over a year right now just to get the basic roads in and reroute water and so on and so forth. They haven't even really started construction on the building yet, and they've got everything available to them. How was this accomplished 250 years ago with like nothing? You have no steam engines, no electronics, no power, no means of transportation other than horses and wagons and stuff like that. How was this done? I'm not saying it wasn't done. I want to know how it was done. And the story, if you look at the story of these buildings, it's always that they're built in a year's time frame or a 2-year time frame. How did that happen? Like those are the questions
It's
you
called
gotta ask.
skill, Tony.
The World's Fairs. So you take one for example. You look at the Chicago World's Fair, which was 1898? I don't know. But they built what they called the White City. This is enormous. It's huge. It has a lake. It has giant buildings, like giant Roman style buildings. A couple of hundred of them. And supposedly this was built in the course of 2 years. And they built it all specifically to tear it all down at the end of the World's Fair. And this was a repeating thing. They did it all of these World's Fairs, beginning in Paris in 1850 and ending, I forgot where, in 1930. This was a repeating thing all over the world where they would have these World Fairs that would incorporate these giant, huge, elaborate structures, fountains, and not just out of paper mache. This stuff is actually made out of like marble and real glass and real everything. And then supposedly it was all done in a space of 2 years, and then all torn down and completely erased at the end of the World's Fair. And that was one of the selling features of the World's Fair. Come see all of these amazing structures because we're going to tear them down immediately after the World's Fair. This was something they did in all of these different... Look into this stuff. It's really fascinating, and you're going to come more with more questions than you have answers.
Wizard King sent you a super chat.
Thank you.
Tony just wanted to let you know I'm one of the peas in the pod with you on this stuff. Things have to make sense. We're thinkers.
Things have to make sense. Exactly.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
You may not end up with all the answers, but you'll get enough of the answers to have a grasp of the bigger picture.
Hmm. Is that where the murder castle was, near the Chicago's World Fair? I have no idea.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Look at the White City, right? Google the White City and look at what you see there, and then try to square that with the story that goes with it. With the Philadelphia World Fair, there's so many of them.
Let's see, we still haven't figured out Roman concrete.
That's true.
Aliens aside, I love watching your videos. Can you make a video on 70 to 74 Challengers and Cudas? I'd love to hear your knowledge on the e-bodies.
You know, I've never done an e-body video.
No, because we don't have one laying around.
Have we?
No, I don't think so.
Well, we did it. We did a 71 Hemi Cuda one. We did. I should do a rundown, just an e-body video, just covering the range of e-bodies, like we did with the Roadrunners.
Those e-body people are crazy. You better be careful.
They're berserk.
You don't make any mistakes.
E-body people are like Corvette people. Please.
Don't make a mistake.
You know, I watched this video, but he had a wrinkle in his shirt. How can I take somebody seriously? How can this ass clown make a video about e-bodies and have a wrinkle in his shirt? This is the kind of stuff that you got to deal with.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. We love e-body people, though.
I love.
They're
all
just
car
very
people.
Meticulous.
They're very picky.
Yeah.
Very, very picky.
And
More so than
meticulous. Yeah.
the typical Mopar fanatic.
Yeah, if you can believe that.
If you can believe that.
Let's see, e-body's eccentric.
Yes. Which is kind of why I've shied away from it. That's why I think that's why we don't have any. I love the cars, but there's like an e-body culture that I don't really fit into.
Corey says, "Don't worry, I won't judge." No one can explain e-bodies. I don't know. Yeah, they're different.
They are.
Yeah. E-body cult, maybe a little bit. It's a little culty.
It's a little culty. It's like an
little
exclusive
culty.
club.
It is.
That's why I shy away from it.
Yeah, maybe.
That's why I shy away from it. You know, I love the cars. We've had them over the years. But I shy away from the whole e-body thing because it's kind of an elitist deal.
A little bit.
Yeah, and
We love you, e-body guys.
Yeah, I mean, enjoy your thing. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of back away from it because it's like I don't know. It's hard to explain.
They won't let you in.
They don't want me.
They don't want you.
They don't want me.
Let's see. Remember when we saw the guy with that feather duster? Remember we were at the show and he had the feather duster?
Oh,
going
I
over the
thought
roof?
you meant the car feather duster.
No. He had a feather duster and he was wiping down his
Cuda.
Cuda,
Yeah.
but he was doing it so slowly, as if the feathers were gonna scratch the car. Sorry, guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't want to make fun, but like it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
He's just going really slow, not to scratch the car with the feathers.
Well, this was the guy that came with an enclosed trailer and put paper down. I don't remember if it was cardboard or like construction type paper.
Oh yeah, to roll the car.
But he put paper down to roll the car onto the grass.
Yeah.
So that I guess the grass wouldn't stain the tires.
Right. Yeah.
And then he went around the whole car with this curved feather duster. And then like just gently like dusted the car, and I'm like, you know what? I just like, yeah,
We don't fit in.
I don't fit this crowd. Yeah.
Right. It's funny. Hey man, feathers are a legit threat.
You know, if I look at my cars and I don't see like bird poop on them, I'm like, oh, there's something wrong.
What kind of car was that? It was a purple Challenger.
It was an
Challenger?
e-body. I don't
It was an
remember what it
e-body.
was exactly.
I think it was a Challenger. Like a Hemi Challenger or something.
Something
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah. Let's see. Rogue Dolphin says, will the electric car insanity be the end of humanity?
The electric car insanity is going to the end of the American auto industry. Period. The end. Talk about conspiracies, right? It's becoming very clear to me now what the agenda actually is as far as the electric cars go. And it has nothing to do with producing electric cars. It has to do with eliminating the legacy automakers. They're done. Um, they've been legislated with this whole EV thing. They've literally been legislated out of existence, and you could follow the trail from the cash for clunkers was the first step. The current evolution of really disposable cars is the next step. Came right after cash for clunkers, and now you've got all of this EV legislation saying that by 2030, 2025, I'm not going to sell any here. By 2030, 60% of the fleet has to be electronic, and people don't want them. People don't want them. They're selling a handful of them. They're selling them in dribs and drabs here and there because people just do not want them, and the automakers are hemorrhaging cash by the billions right now, trying to get these products to the market because they've been legislated into existence, and they're not going to do it. They can't do it. The infrastructure doesn't exist. The will of the people doesn't exist. They don't want these cars. Period. So I think there's an agenda in place having to do with the electric cars.
Okie doke. Let's see. Facts, Uncle Tony.
What's that?
Facts, Uncle Tony.
I believe that's what it is.
Let's see. What does it say? The magazine show car quality focus really turned a lot of car guys into perfectionists. I burned out on cars and hot rods until the rat rod movement came into full swing about 15 to 20 years ago.
You know, I like the rat rod thing, except that the focus is on them being rats. I know this sounds crazy, right? You know, well, what's the point if having a rat rod if it's not a rat? But the idea of making a car deliberately ratty is a lot different than just presenting the car in its like natural state. You know what I mean? Like fake patina. You know what I mean? You know, when you go out of your way to make things look extra ratty, extra rough. You know, when you've got a decent floor pan, but you cover it with license plates and so on and so forth, just so it looks like it's. Yeah, see, that's just bogus. And to me, that's just as obnoxious as the guy with the feather duster. You know what I mean? I like the ratty muscle movement. That is pretty cool. Because you got the car, and yeah, it's got its battle scars. I mean, it's a 50, 60-year-old car, so it's got a little rust here, and it's got a few dents there, and the interior is not in the best shape. But it's there, and it's honest, and it's real, and it's authentic, and I like that. I like that.
I can't believe Mopar went EV.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's the death of the legacy automakers. This was a deliberate move to put them out of business.
But then what? Then what?
Follow the money to whatever part of the world that money is heading to, right? And that's where the next big manufacturing, or that's going to be where all of the new cars are going to be coming from.
Where?
It could be China.
It
could be Indonesia. I don't know. Follow the money. Wherever the money is going, that's where they're going to bring the industry. They're done with this. They're done with this system. They're done with the industry here.
So you want to be? I don't think that there's going to be any. If that goes here in the United States, I don't think we're getting cars from anywhere. I really don't think that we're getting cars from anywhere.
What do you mean?
New cars? I think we're going to be stuck with the old cars.
Yes, I know.
And that's it.
I know. I believe so.
They might bring some stuff from Mexico.
It's not a matter of them bringing stuff. It's a matter of the exchange. It's a matter of the currency exchange. Because right now there are literally, as we speak, right now there's people are dumping the dollars. The dollar has lost and technically it still has it, but it's lost its reserve status.
So do you think that this strike is going to put them out of business? Do you think that that's going to affect it?
Yes,
You do.
yes. I think that you've got
Because that's what I'm thinking too.
there's a tsunami headed for American auto manufacturers, and it's over. It's over.
But I don't think it's just the auto workers. I think it's the credit crunch that's going on right now.
All of it. It's a perfect
It's all
storm.
of it.
It's a perfect storm. But what most people don't understand is that China is buying oil from Saudi Arabia using yuan. They're not converting to dollars. China is buying its oil from Saudi Arabia and paying for it in yuan. Russia is paying for it in rubles. We've been cut out of the loop. The US dollar has been cut out of the loop. Technically, we're still the world's reserve currency. But the biggest economies in the world are no longer buying their energy using the dollar. The petrodollar is dead. People don't grasp what the bigger implications to that are.
Very bad. They're very bad implications.
Yeah. Okay. So think of it this way, right? Okay. Your entire life, if you're watching this video, okay, or you're watching this live, you're of the lifespan where 100% of your existence and probably 100% of your parents' existence occurred during a time that we had world reserve currency status. And so the lifestyle that you know, the only lifestyle that you know that you've lived through, was at the benefit of the world reserve currency status. We don't have that anymore. So the lifestyle that you've always known is disappearing, like now, like right now. You know, people, it's not like you can wake up, it's just like, okay, so you had the stock market crash in 1929, and people think, like in their mind, it's like, okay, the stock market crash caused the Great Depression. So in your mind, you put this together as being an event that happened simultaneously. It's like, oh hell, the stock market crashed, guess what? Now we're in a Great Depression. It didn't happen like that. The stock market crashed. And then over the course of, let's say, the next 2 years, certain regions started to feel the pinch, and it spread to other regions. And then within 3 years, now you're in a full-blown depression. And at the same time, there were people there were areas and towns and cities that went through the Great Depression and didn't mean anything to them. It was fine. Life just went on as perfectly normal. So what people are expecting, okay, well, you say, oh, you're going to have an economic collapse. You're going to have a dollar collapse. And people have the impression that, oh, you're going to wake up one morning and the dollar collapsed. But it doesn't work that way. And you also have to understand how the dollar is measured, because the dollar is in a basket of other fiat currencies. So the dollar may still be showing strength, but the strength is only relative to other currencies that don't have any backing. So it's like, it's gonna get weird. It's weird now. It's gonna get much weirder. And the lifestyle you've known is over.
It's funny because we mentioned this today. Weird Science says you won't find any U.S. currency past 2017.
That's right.
Shows that they plan for CBDCs, central bank digital currency, been looking for the last 4 years.
It won't happen. I know. The whole, people have been talking about CBDCs for a long time. I was looking at CBDCs back in probably, I don't know, I guess it was like 2010. 2009, 2010, that's when they first started talking about it, and that's when it came on my radar. And I doubled down and bought more. Okay. It won't happen the way the fear-mongers... Okay, we already have a digital currency. The US dollar has been a digital currency, gradually so, for the last 25 years. The paper you hold in your hand only represents a tiny amount of the dollars in circulation. It's like 2% of the dollars in circulation are actually paper dollars. The rest of them are digital. You whip out your you go to the bank for a loan. They're not taking money from the vault, $20 bills and $100 bills. No, they say, oh, we're going to lend you, $100,000. They go on the screen and they create $100,000 digitally, and then it gets transferred to your account digitally, and then you transfer it to the next place wherever you're buying it from digitally. It's already a digital currency, and it's already owned by the central bank. So it's like there's nothing new under the sun. Now the idea that they're going to replace the dollar with a card that you're going to carry around, and that's going to be the new currency, the digital currency, the central bank digital currency that everybody's worried about. They can do that, but what you'll have immediately are regional currencies. You'll go back to pre-Civil War. You'll go back to the same exact situation you had in the 1840s, the 1850s, where every state had its own currency, and within the state, every city had its own kind of currency. Towns had their own currencies. Businesses had their own currencies. There was like a mishmash of people were trading. They were just printing these things off. Oh yeah, here's the new Murfreesboro dollar, right? And people in Murfreesboro would use that dollar and make all their transactions. So if they did try to tie everybody down to, a true central bank, true controlled central bank digital currency, the immediate kickback of that, the immediate result of that would be black markets and regional currencies to buy the goods off the black market. It's the way of man. That's how we do things. Don't worry about the CBDC.
Okay. Let's see. Any money? My Chuck E. Cheese coins are coming back, baby.
Chuck E. Cheese coins. This is good.
Monopoly money. Let's see. If we resist, it won't. But look at how few people give a crap. I still try to do only cash, and you are right about that most transactions are digital. It's just them being able to tie everything.
They already do.
Yeah,
they already do. That's there's a lot of fear mongering out there. There's a lot of fear porn. Everything that they talk about that they're going to be able to do, they do right now.
Are you still here, Tony?
Yes. Be your own banker. Park your excess reserves in a tangible asset.
This isn't financial advice.
No, but it's not financial advice.
Yeah.
Park your reserves in a tangible asset.
Tony, I still have some show world tokens, Franco says.
Show world. Those tokens are worth more than the paper you would use to buy them. I mean,
it's getting late.
Like their intrinsic value.
Late.
What's that?
He says it's getting late. Well, we started late. It's 10
We started
o'clock.
late.
It's 10 o'clock.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
How long have we been on?
I think we started at like 8:20.
Oh, jeez. Well, we got to go a little while longer.
UT, I subscribe to this channel for the fear mongering. UT, you're fear mongering, Tony.
You come to the wrong place because I'm not afraid of any of this stuff. I'm welcoming it. Bring it.
Fear mongering.
Bring it. The weirder it is, the more totalitarian it is, the more extreme it is. Bring it. Bring it. Because the crazier you get it, I'll profit off of it. I'll profit off of it.
Let's see. Tony, can you give a rundown on the first two central banks in America?
1820? No, not now. Not now.
Oh. This isn't financial advice. This is a card channel. Tony has replaced the X-Files. Oh my goodness. Careful what you wish for. Yeah, that's true.
The War of Northern Aggression was... all right, Kathy's going like this. Don't go there.
Don't go there.
The first central bank failed because there was no unified currency. The War of Northern Aggression was waged to force a unified currency. And that allowed the next central bank
thousands of magic beans. That's
Nice.
good.
Nice.
Magic beans are good. See, I love the fear mongering during that word. Kept freeways free of traffic.
Oh God, I love that. I'm nostalgic for the lockdowns. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, he liked it because he could drive around, the only one on the road.
Oh, you don't know. You guys don't know. I was in my glory. It was like, you wake up. It was not everything was closed. Gas stations were open to go get coffee. Lots of places were open, but not officially, right? So it was like I was in my glory. I get out in the car, go anywhere. There's no traffic. There's no nothing. Don't even bother slowing down for the lights. This is nobody. I missed that.
See, this is grounds for a separate podcast to truly allow Tony to rant, Ari says. Oh.
The fun part was like the looks of horror on everybody's faces when like I'd walk into a place and I wasn't wearing a mask, and they'd be like, people were like,
people would see me and like turn around and go to other aisles and stuff like that because they didn't want to walk past me.
You remember that?
Yeah, crazy.
It was great. I missed that. I really do. The lockdowns were like one of the most enjoyable periods in my entire life.
Really?
Yes.
Ari's live is going to have to go until 2 a.m. This is true. But Ari's on a different time frame than we are. He can...
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a lot earlier than we are, so he'll be okay. Uncle Tony Uncensored. You don't want that.
You don't want that. You don't want me to speak my mind.
No. Let's see. None of the other car channels talk about aliens. Why not?
Yeah, the hell with the other car channels.
You and Steve Magnanti talked about aliens once. You did the Halloween special.
We did a Halloween special.
Yeah.
We talked about all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was a fun night.
Mm-hmm. Nick Bruni, around here in Philly Burbs, it was known that the cops would stop you because of the uncertainty.
What was that now?
Around here in Philly Burbs, it was known that the cops wouldn't stop you because of the uncertainty.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, the law. Right.
Yeah, no, it was the same here. I was like, cops like that. Do what you want to do.
Oh shoot! I missed the cryptids.
We didn't do cryptids tonight.
We did melted buildings.
You laugh.
I'm laughing. I laugh at everything. This is so ridiculous.
Okay, wait. Have you seen these buildings?
Have I seen them?
Yes.
Okay, I don't see it and watch the videos the way that you do. I see them like in passing, like when I'm walking across the living room and you're watching something, I'll look at it for a minute. Or if I'm like on my phone and I look up and I see it.
No, I've pointed these things out to you.
You did, yeah. You did.
You're going to deny that stuff?
Am I going to deny it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I saw it, but I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't know what I'm looking at either.
I would need to see it in person. And two, I'm a huge, like, I believe in a lot of video manipulation and photo manipulation.
Yeah,
because of my background, like
But you can't have a dozen people manipulating a photo the same way on a structure that's known to exist for hundreds of years.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of that stuff I look at from the point of it being photographically manipulated. So I'm very careful about just believing whatever I see on television.
All right. So the one that made me look at this and say, hey, wait a minute, there's something to this. Okay, is, and I'm 90% certain it's a castle in Turkey. Okay. So this castle in Turkey, and you can see this thing is like thousands of years old, right? The front part of it is intact. The back part of it appears to be melted. And the thing that got me about this, or I looked at it and I says, okay, there's something to this, is that at the back part of the building that appears that it's melted, the hillside that, let's say, would be the melted material, in theory, is in the shape of a bead. Okay, so you look at rocks. Okay, you look like a hill cut. Okay, and you'll always see the layers, right? And the layers are straight. I mean, sometimes they're on an angle like this, but the bottom line is that you'll have fairly uniform, layers, right? And you drive any highway, and you drive past a hill cut, and you'll see you know what I'm talking about, right? But what was on the side of this melted building was the outline like a perfect bead, and giant, obviously, right? Because you're talking about a melted castle, right? So these lines were huge. I'd say like probably 40, 50 feet long, going by scale, what it appears to be. But they were like this, right? And it was almost like a perfect bead was run off the side of this building. And the only way that could happen is if it was melted. Like if it had eroded, you have a certain type of pattern that's erosion. If it had been blasted out, there's a certain pattern that would be, a blast. But if you melt something, you melt molten steel, let's just say, it has that shape. And the melt on the side of this castle has that shape. And I can't figure any other way that could have happened. And that's what made me take this whole thing seriously.
Yeah, I know that. But like my biggest thing about it is that all of that information kind of came out all at the same time. People started talking about it all at the same time. So I'm always like very leery about when things come out like that.
I had never heard of any of
We've
this
lived
stuff.
for how long, and
Right.
nobody's ever talked about this. And then all of a sudden now everybody's talking about something, which means to me that it's being pushed out for a reason and that there's manipulation involved in that. So that's why I'm very leery of the whole thing.
Or the powers that be are finally letting this information out.
Yeah,
or
I know.
allowing it
They're
to go
not
out.
doing anything for anybody.
Yeah,
That doesn't benefit themselves. I'm sorry.
Maybe it benefits them some way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm very
I had
cynical.
never heard of a thing like a star fort, but poof, they're everywhere.
Mm.
I had never heard. I never considered what like the stories behind certain buildings and events. I had never really considered the logistics of these things. And then when you look at the logistic of it, when you look at a building that's like a cathedral that just pops up in the middle of Montana, right? And that's the thing about this stuff. It's like these areas like that you wouldn't expect grand architecture to be, like Montana or Utah or Missouri, where it's like, okay, well, this wasn't settled until, like Lewis and Clark and all of that shit, right? You wouldn't expect to find these huge, elaborate, grand marble, granite, like sculpted, huge buildings in the middle of like the flyover states and dated to like 1850, 1840. It's like, okay, great, you built this, but how did you get that material there? Where did it come from? Where was the quarry? Where was the marble? Where the hell did this marble come from? Where were the craftsmen who put it together? You can't tell me that you moved all of this material from the East Coast all the way to the middle of the country with donkeys and shit like that, and no roads, no power tools, and built this thing. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. But there are cases like when I tell you there are thousands of these things.
I think you need to go on road trips, Tony, and go find all of these places and and do Tony's architecture channel.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I don't have to go to the place
No.
to see what I see.
Well, yeah, you kind of do. You kind of do.
How so?
These photographs lie.
So you're saying that every photograph and every video is manipulated?
Well,
Every story is manipulated.
not every story is manipulated, but I would think that since it's such a hot topic, that there would be things that are manipulated.
When you look at something like the World's Fairs, so you go back and talk about the White City in Chicago, right? Those are the photos from the fair. They're showing you the photographs of from the fair that it actually happened.
Who's showing? Where are these photographs coming from?
The fair. They had photographers. These were the photographs from the fair that show the buildings and the people. I mean, this is just like as if You went to the county fair over here and somebody took pictures of it. And here's the
Mm-hmm.
Ferris wheel and here's the cotton candy. It's the same thing as that.
Okay, I have another question.
Sure.
Why aren't there any interior photographs?
There are a few.
No, but like with all of these outside architectural photographs taken,
Yes.
why aren't there any photographs of the interiors? Because that makes me think that there's photo manipulation, because otherwise there would be lots of photographs of the interiors of these huge places.
But there are. There are.
No, there's not as many as the
Not as many,
outsides.
no. No, most of them are from the outside.
Jake B doing stuff says, let's take a road trip, Tony. I'll drive. Okay, well, you know that you're not going to be able to stop if you go with Tony.
Well, here's an example. Here's an example, okay? The mid winter exposition in San Francisco in 1898, it might have been. No, it was 1880. It doesn't, okay, well, the year actually does matter. They did a thing called the Midwinter Exposition in San Francisco. And it was at some point, I believe it was like somewhere in the 1880 to 1890 time frame. And it was the same story as the other World's Fairs, okay? So the buildings were all put up, these elaborate buildings with domes and columns and sculptures and like crazy detailed, huge buildings. That these buildings were built for this fair and then torn down immediately after the fair. And again, see, they feature that. And if you go look at the literature from these fairs, it tells you, yes, we're going to tear all these buildings down as soon as this is over. So look at everything now, right?
Dead Dodge Garage says, holy crap, you're still at it.
All right. So
Talking about important things, Dead Dodge Garage.
this is important. This is important. This is weird, okay? So that's all fine and dandy. But then there's a panoramic picture taken from San Francisco in 1878. And in the background of this picture, you can see the buildings that were in the fair
Paper mache.
that weren't supposed to have been built. Oh no, go look at these pictures. None of this. You could see the difference between the buildings that were built for the fair, because there'll be like stands and stuff, like concession stands and stuff like that, and like the Hawaiian World exhibit, whatever it is. And you can see they built this hut. Like you can see the difference between buildings that were built for the fair, and they're all very amateurish sort of, buildings. And then you see these giant, huge, crazy sculptures, buildings rather. Look at the stuff yourself and make your own judgments. I'm not telling you what happened. I'm just telling you, go look at it for yourself and you tell me what you think happened. Kathy's like, okay, enough of this.
I'm very skeptical. It's just my nature. It's just how I am. Why wouldn't they have taken photographs of it being built?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't they take photographs of interiors? Why wouldn't they take photographs of details, close-up details? Because I know, like, when I was doing murals and artwork and stuff like that, once I finished, I would take my photographs and I would go all around different areas. I would do close-ups of certain areas.
Right.
I would do broad views of areas. I would, like, do different angles and stuff like that, just so that I knew that I had every angle captured of what was done.
Okay.
How come you don't see photographs like that of those buildings?
Because those buildings were already there, and they couldn't show them too closely detailed because they were weathered.
No, then why would they allow people to walk around at the World's Fair with them if they couldn't show them
Because
close in detail?
Because the people at the World's Fair are presented with, we built these buildings and now we're going to tear them down. And that's literally the story, right? So they're not looking for anything anomalous. They're not looking for anything weird. They're like, you go to an amusement park and like, okay, there's the haunted house and it's got its decorations. So they're walking around this fair and they're just seeing all of these giant things. And they're saying, wow, look how amazing this is. They built this in 2 years.
Just because I haven't seen photos, Kathy, doesn't mean they don't exist. I didn't say it didn't exist.
There
I
are
just
interior
said
photos of these buildings.
that there aren't as many photos that should be, I think,
They built one building.
because of what it was.
They had one of these in Philadelphia, right? And there was one building, I forget exactly. I believe the building itself was a quarter mile long, right? And it wasn't like just a what was it? So when they did the one in Philadelphia, there were several buildings that were just enormous, like in length, and there was one of them that the building itself was probably between like 60 and 75 feet tall, fully decorated with columns that ran all the way down, all the way back, and the building itself was about a quarter of a mile long. Right, if you can imagine this, and they built this in like 1870 something for this fair, specifically to tear it down after the fair was over. The pictures of these things are there. Like I said, go and use your own
You know what,
judgment.
Tony? I think we need a time machine. And if we can get the time machine, then we can go back and we can look and see exactly what was done before they tore the buildings down. So then you could come back and then you could do it live and you could tell everybody exactly what happened.
How is this any?
What? I'm just playing with you.
How is this any different than looking at a history book of let's say
But you're
Greek?
telling me at the same time you're saying that history, the timeline is not correct. So history books are not just null and void.
But
then.
what I'm saying is, from your perspective, right? Somebody who doubts this, how is a history book that shows Greek sculpture, let's just say, and gives you the timelines and the names and everything for that, how is that accurate, but this isn't accurate?
Because you can see the Greek sculpture, it's still available to see.
Some of these buildings are still available. They left a few choice ones.
Well, then you should go document them. Because if
But they're documented now.
their documented history says that they were built in 2 years.
Yes.
Right. So that's obviously not true if it's an actual building like what we're talking about. They weren't built in 2 years.
It couldn't have been built in 2 years. When you look at the elaborate, the timelines, the story and the time and the technology that existed don't add up.
Rob says I need aspirin. How do you think we feel? There's still some left from the Chicago Fair. Mean Machine Manias.
Yes, there's a couple of buildings.
Where is Bill and Ted's phone booth? We need that. Excellent. Tony's math.
I'm telling you, you guys think I'm crazy, but look into this stuff yourself.
I'm just playing with you about the time machine. I didn't really mean that. This is still awesome. Okay, good. Phantom Toll Booth. Eiffel Tower.
Well, the Eiffel Tower, you can see them building. There's actually construction photos of the Eiffel Tower. But there's no construction photos of the fair that the Eiffel Tower
Why not?
occupied. Because those buildings were already there.
Oh, jeez.
They built the Eiffel Tower. You could see the pictures of the Eiffel Tower being built, yes. But the park, the buildings that surrounded the Eiffel Tower at the time, there's no construction photos of those.
No.
Right.
Let's see. Wait, what? No time machine? No. Okay, are we done?
Probably.
Probably. We should be done for a long time now.
Till tomorrow.
Excuse me. Till
Then we
tomorrow.
start all over again.
Okay, if those majestic... Wait, where did I go? Franco. If those majestic buildings predated the World's Fair, why were they torn down? Franco wants to know.
The theory is to eliminate the history. It was like a reset. And the idea was these cities and this infrastructure and everything existed.
What
But-
theory are you pushing? Mudflood Tartaria?
Well, that's all part of it. That's all in there. But I don't subscribe to any particular theory about it. I'm learning about
He
these
just
things.
likes to talk about it.
No, this is very fascinating when you start really looking at the details. And if instead of just like laughing it off, you actually look at the details, this is extremely fascinating stuff, and it really makes you think. But the theory, Franco, is that These areas were already settled, they were already built out, they already had infrastructure, there were already cities, active common cities. And during this reset period, the population was eliminated. However, either they were moved out or they were killed or whatever, I don't know. But they left all of this infrastructure behind. So when the country was repopulated, and see, there's a lot of stuff to that too. When the country was repopulated, the story was that, oh yeah, this was unsettled. You know what I mean? There was nobody here, and they two guys set up a tent and said, this is going to be San Francisco, but the stuff was already there. That's the theory. That's the working theory on it. But when you look at some other stuff, right? So
Orphan trains.
bingo, bingo.
Wait, Ellen McElroy says, hi, Tony. Have you ever owned an 80s Kawasaki KZ550? Sent you super chat.
KZ550, no. I had a KZ650, 77? Was it a 77 or a 78? I had a KZ650, but I never had a 750. Yeah, the orphan trains, you had the emigration.
Cold War Motors says, always fun. Cheers from the junkyard. Good night, Cold War Motors.
Good night, brother. But yeah, the orphan trains. Explain the orphan trains. And the thing about that is that my grandfather on my father's side was one of those orphans. I have no idea the history, how he got there or anything like that, like the family lines and stuff. The Ellis Island immigration, and the fact that all of the records were destroyed in a fire in like 1900, I think it was.
So DeFeo isn't actually your name.
No, DeFeo is whatever the original name sounded like, that's how they wrote it out.
No, but he was adopted. Your grandfather.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were immigrants also.
Right, I know.
Yeah. They were immigrants.
Yeah, but whatever your grandfather's real name was, we don't know.
No idea. No idea. So yeah, no, there's a lot of crazy shit. But the orphan trains, that's weird. And then the asylums, they built.
There's actually lots of interior photos of the Chicago Fair. Okay, now I haven't seen them. They don't really put them in the videos that he's talking about.
Oh yeah, they do.
Not a lot. It's mostly exterior.
How many do you need?
Oh jeez. I need 347 photos.
No, the orphan trains are a big part of this. It's almost like there was this crazy repopulation effort between the immigration, via Ellis Island, and
now I'm gonna have weird dreams tonight. End of time sense.
This is fascinating stuff, guys. This is fascinating stuff. It may all be a crock of shit.
You know what, Tony? I think you're bored.
I'm not bored.
I think that might be it.
No, I'm searching for answers. I want to know how specifically we ended up where we are now, so I know where it's going to go. And the only way you can do that is to look at where we've been. And this is all new information. These are things that I never heard about.
Orphan trains. Now I have another rabbit hole.
You look into the orphan trains.
Oh my goodness.
It was like a frantic effort to repopulate this country in the 1870s, 80s, 90s, 1900.
Okay, are we done?
I think so.
You think so?
I think
Everybody has a lot to Google if they so choose.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I gave you guys a lot of stuff to chew on. Let's meet back here next Sunday night.
Everyone bring their notes.
And you tell me what you come up with.
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for hanging around, guys.
Yes. So, our mods, whoever hung around and hasn't completely run away now at this point with all the craziness, Harry Fubar Zero, thank you. Everybody contributed to Super Chat, thank you equally. Greatly appreciated to keep the wheels running. Everybody contributed with just your presence and your conversation. We equally appreciate you. Thank you all. What do we want to talk about? Anything?
I'm sorry, I'm yawning.
Yeah, because
what?
Because I bore you now.
Yes, I'm bored of you now.
Oh, jeez, I can't even think.
Wow, that was a trip.
Well, now I want to go do more research.
Oh, brother. He's going to be up all night watching these videos.
Yeah, if I look tired in the videos, it's because I'm up all night watching this stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Do some research, guys. Start by looking into the world's fairs and then see where that takes you. All right, that's it.
What
Make this stop.
conspiracies we talk about next week?
What's that?
What conspiracies do we talk about next week?
Let's see what they come up with.
Okay, you guys come up with stuff.
All right.
Right.
We should just do conspiracy night.
Conspiracy night?
Yeah.
We could do that.
We should just do that.
I'll have to read my book that's have a science.
You don't believe anything.
Oh, what do you say? I believe some things. All right.
All right. Good night, all.
Good night, everybody.